Hello to everyone watching. I'm Simon Miller, and welcome back to World Citizen here on the LaRouche Organization YouTube channel. In these videos, we often try to give an international perspective on the various issues facing us all. And today's video is an issue that is relevant to each and every single citizen in the entire United States. What is this issue? It is the recent DOJ indictment of 4 US citizens and 3 Russians for the supposed crime of conspiring to use US citizens as illegal agents of the Russian government. All 4 of those indicted US citizens were current or former members of the African People's Socialist Party, also known as the Uhuru Movement, including founder and chairman of the movement Omali Yeshitela, and they come in the wake of a coordinated FBI raid on several Uhuru members' homes last July. There is, of course, a long history of the state accusing black activists, revolutionaries, and nationalists of being foreign assets, from Martin Luther King Jr. to the Black Panthers. But never before have these attacks led to such a naked violation of the First Amendment. Now, the indictment accuses Uhuru members of sowing discord and spreading pro-Russian propaganda. This is probably obvious to most viewers, but sowing discord, that is, to disagree with the established narrative, is a constitutional right under the First Amendment of the United States. It is not a crime to agree with someone from Russia, nor is it to agree with the Russian government. It is also not a crime to express your beliefs publicly, which is what this ridiculous indictment calls spreading propaganda. In fact, the singular accusation from this whole document that can actually be considered a crime is the accusation that APSP, that is the African People's Socialist Party, received funding from Russia to run a candidate for the St. Petersburg, Florida mayoral elections, with the final goal of running a presidential candidate. The utter lunacy of this accusation is immediately apparent. Not only has the Uhuru movement been running candidates for local office for decades, but they have always run on these same issues, that is, issues that are important to them, namely on reparations for slavery. It is also ultimately delusional to believe that the Russian government planned to influence the US presidential race by running a black nationalist candidate for the office of mayor of St. Petersburg, Florida. No. This indictment isn't about any one candidate or crime. This indictment is actually about setting a precedent. The precedent that will be set if this indictment stands is that your First Amendment rights, and I mean your First Amendment rights, are subject to violation on the basis that you challenged a mainstream narrative on essentially any issue. You name it, from Russia to China to vaccines to masks to economy and culture and everything else down the list. If you profess a belief that opposes the established dogma, you are now a criminal, according to this indictment. The issue stretches deeper than our right to free speech, though, as it also concerns the very continued existence of our society as a whole. For society to exist, to produce and reproduce itself at progressively higher levels of culture and technology, it is required that we continually advance in our understanding of the world around us. In his 1984 book entitled Science of the Human Mind, Lyndon LaRouche explains the multiple levels of hypotheses, describing a simple hypothesis in the following terms. On the lowest level of human problem-solving activity, we attempt to comprehend a problem by the aid of assumption that prevailing opinion is broadly correct. This is an other-directed state of mind, which limits one's self-approved thoughts to such thoughts one imagines to be approved among his neighbors, family, prevailing authorities, and so forth. Persons in this state of mind will never discover anything of useful importance bearing upon the fundamental issues of scientific knowledge. Worse, they will be hostile to creative discoveries. The indictment against Uhuru is a perfect example of this hostility to any ideas which challenge the accepted opinion, and it will only drive our society closer to collapse. What we can derive is this. The Uhuru indictment sets a precedent. It is a precedent which violates our constitutional rights and regards dissenting opinions as criminal. But further, this indictment sets a precedent that pushes us to the brink of societal collapse. If you want to prevent that collapse and stay informed in the future, please like and subscribe to this channel. The LaRouche Organization has the solutions that America and the world needs. Please also visit handsoffuhuru.org. That's handsoffuhuru.org to learn more about those being indicted. Thank you, and Uhuru.